In this Battletech head-to-head vlog, we're going to be exploring the Locust versus the Jenner. Is it even a contest? And tactically, what can we do to try and leverage the strength of both of these machines to triumph? Specifically, the Locust. I never want to say never in Battletech. And often, sometimes we find ourselves on the field of battle with an interesting matchup of mechs and machines. And as a mech commander, the orders are given. We got to make it happen. Now, from the perspective of the Jenner, this is a machine that I consider it auto include. I'm not going to jump into Jenner Tactica here. I've pushed that up to the playlist here, Battletech under my channel. But you first look at the Jenner, and it's legit. It's legal. You're like, how is it packing in all of these weapons? You drop some jump jets, and it packs in all these weapons. It's got more weapons than some medium mechs. Now, it doesn't have the heat discipline or the armor to do that, but it has a lot of zappy. You've got medium lasers, and you've got a short-range missile pack. So this is a kind of short medium to short-range type mech. It's got great speed for what it packs versus the Locust, tremendous speed, also no jump jets, one medium laser, and two machine guns. So for all intents and purposes, the primary weapon of the medium laser is all you have, because those machine guns, you have to be at point blank range. And generally speaking, light mech Tactica, you want to be dancing around, you want to be moving, you want to be throwing up as many modifiers as possible, both in terms of movement and range. And while I can control the movement somewhat, the range, if I'm point blank to another mech, that cuts that down. And I really can't take more than 2 or 3 hits. And with that, depends on the weapon even hitting me if I can take one hit. Some light mechs, you get hit and it blows up, or you lose an arm or a leg gets blasted off. So jumping in to the Tactica, the Locust is fast. The Jenner is fast enough. I can't see the Locust running away and just trying to snipe with that medium laser and maybe kind of wear the Jenner down, because the Jenner is going to be able to keep up. And even at range, it has more weapons. It can afford to push that heat a little bit, or it can afford to fire. Eventually, somebody's going to get lucky. Even if the Jenner is just firing 2 medium lasers, that's going to catch up to me. On the opposite side, going to direct attack with the Locust, cutting back on these modifiers, if I'm going to go direct attack, then I've got to utilize those machine guns. I've got 3 weapons. I have to utilize them. Machine gun damage is better than nothing, and against a light mech, it's kind of something. But that means I'm getting close to hit. That means those medium lasers and the short-range missiles on the Jenner, they're just going to savage me. They're just going to absolutely savage me to the point where if I'm point blank, the Jenner could alpha strike. Alpha strike is where you fire everything. You don't really worry about heat, because what's the Locust really going to do? It's not going to punch me. It might kick. It might fire off everything and hit me for a turn, but I can take that. Then I clear the heat. Then I'm back in the game. So from that perspective, I really can't see the Locust pulling this off or making significant work against the Jenner. But if I had to try it, I think I would try to dance at range. I would be using the speed of that Locust to try and dart from cover to cover, forest to forest. If I can block level 1, or if we're playing with true sight rules with a city fight, city tech, if I can, given the location of the medium laser, if I can block off my left torso or my right torso, utilizing that, trying to keep the Jenner at a little bit more than arm's length. So at least I've got my movement modifiers, I've got some range modifiers, and I can still zap the Jenner possibly and get lucky. But again, that's one laser against multiple lasers and short-range missiles. On the Jenner side, I think it's just run towards the Locust, keep up as best as you can, and zap, zap, zap away. It is a light mech. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and it's just going to crumble and go down. Hardly a fair match. I feel almost like these two machines are in completely different weight classes. We're not really going to do head-to-head versus light versus medium, or mediums versus heavies. Maybe heavies versus assaults, looking and exploring those options. But I just feel like, wow, I might have better success with the Locust going up against some different medium mech configurations than versus the Jenner. I see this as very, very one-sided. Now, turning it over to my fellow mech commanders, my fellow mech warriors, and my fellow mech techs here in the comments, can the Locust even remotely take it? And if it could, how would it do it?